it's a beating. Just tune in, you gon' have to see it. Stand up if you with us, if not, they be seated. You seen them in every arena. A and Nika, who really got something to fight for. Everybody saying they're the goal, who the one that slayed the Chupacabra. Your favorite girls.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Women Crushing It Wednesdays. I got my girls this evening, Crystal, Nika. How are y'all doing?
Doing good. Can't complain.
Doing good. Yep, me too. I'm alive.
How about yourself?
I'm alive. I made it. I had to wrestle some bears, some wolves, some mountain lions this weekend, but I'm here. I'm good. Everything's good. And then we're gonna have in a little while Rachel Donaire on, which I'm very excited about. She's a big boss in boxing.
Yes.
So so we're all gonna do well. We're all gonna do really well. And I know I mentioned this before, but I have this like new ring light and stand, and it like follows me everywhere, and I feel so loved because everywhere I go, it goes too. It's funny. Before we go any further, I just want to shout out to some of our sponsors, Arte de Tere, that does our wonderful videos and our thumbnail, and of course Kush with a C that does our intro. Shout out to them. Obviously, any other sponsors that want to come on in and let us know how we can shout you out and maybe even make some commercials. Just saying. But before Rachel comes on, and we talk about these fights from last weekend and this week, what have y'all seen that's been going on Twitter or any other platform?
Well, I got picked on Twitter today, and I just saw like Ryan and like complaining about something again. Like I think he was saying he posted a video of himself like punching the bag, and then supposedly Devin Haney's girlfriend was screaming in the background. Like, I just want to say, I am tired of hearing about Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. I don't want to hear
I'm done
anymore. Okay, I'm over it. Okay,
I'm personally done.
Over it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Crystal, did you see anything that just like stuck out to you?
Actually, no.
Another thing.
I've been doing catch up. I don't have time to be on the X.
You were working all weekend. We have to talk about that too.
No, another thing that stuck out that I did see was Benavidez. I saw somebody that posted Benavidez had posted a T-shirt that he has for sale of him.
I do see that.
A shotgun. Kind of like the old Nintendo game of
yes.
like, the ducks, and he had like Canelo's face or silhouette
yes,
as a duck. So I thought that was a really cute and funny shirt because he's really pressing for this fight. So I'm not even mad on it.
I think he should. Yeah. No, I think he should. And even though people are like criticizing his last performance, you know what? That was the first time to step up. Whatever. I'm gonna give him a break.
He had a couple of injuries going into that fight. He just But
exactly.
You cannot please everybody, so whatever.
No, he needs to do what he's got to do. I know that he got some criticism too because they were saying that he stole the picture of himself from what was it? Oh my gosh, I just went blank. Not Looney Tunes, something. It was oh shit, I can't remember. But that he stole the image from somebody else who created it without their permission or something. I don't know.
Oh, what, the shirt?
The image of David. Like David took the image of himself.
It's him. Who cares?
But it's
somebody,
him.
From somebody else that created it. And so there was like some controversy. If anybody knows. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. So people want to make money off of his image, of him. And they get mad at him.
Right. See, and that's what I was thinking. Did they have permission from David to make that cartoon?
To make that, right? Like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Oh my God. I didn't even see that. And I'm glad I did it because I probably would have.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always, there's always like some crazy stuff going
So
on.
Daniel says, hopefully the next Lion Ryan story is Caleb Plant runs into him and whoops his ass. And I saw Benavides shirt. I was laughing at it too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
seriously.
mean, I think it's a smooth or slick, if you will,
Yeah.
way for him to bring the issue to the plate to the table, right? Because
Yeah,
I don't think he
absolutely.
get the fight any other way.
Yeah, you're right. You're so totally right. I mean, and we already know, like, we're in the age where these boxers have to promote themselves. Like, they do. I mean, the promoters, they do what they do. Because we talked about it, and we're going to talk about it again. There's some fights that are coming up this weekend. We didn't even know that were happening.
I did not know until you said that, and I was just like, "Wait, he is fighting this?" So
yeah, I mean,
the fighters have to promote themselves, which is crazy because that's what the promoters are for. But I did not know about this Pater fight. Honestly, I really didn't know.
Yeah,
I know. So
yeah, that's what I hear. That's what I hear. But thanks.
Speaking
shout out
of
to
promoters, from what I understand, this is Shakur last fight with Top Rank.
Yes, that is what the rumor is. So what are y'all's thoughts about that?
Wait, what was it? What you? I missed what you said, Crystal.
Shakur's last fight with Top Rank.
Honestly, I really think this is probably not his last fight with Top Rank. I think they're gonna like.
You think he resign?
I think so. I don't know, because who else is he gonna sign with? To be honest, like.
Do he need to sign with anyone else?
Yeah, I mean, he could do like fight by fight.
I mean, I think he has some very good mentors in the game if we look at it, right?
Absolutely, he does.
Mr. Prince is not silly.
Right.
Andre Ward was in his corner for a while. I think he would still reach out to him for advice if it is necessary. Clearly, Bud Crawford is also in his corner, and I think he will provide some guidance for him. I won't be surprised if he do sign back with Top Rank, but I can clearly see him going on his own as well. I think at this point, what we're looking at for Shakur, he a high risk, low reward. Top Rank is not willing to pay the opponents what they want or expect to be paid to be able to fight the lad.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is that we see, I mean, and we can't blame them, in my opinion. So we can't blame promoters when we get to the end of a contract and we start thinking, okay, is it not worth whatever? I'm not sure what it was. I don't know. I know that his last performance, a lot of people were criticizing. But we do know too that, like, with Troy Isley and Javier Martinez, who were in the same weight class, both signed by Top Rank, they were going to have to like cut somebody because they were top heavy. So I don't know if Top Rank was thinking that about Shakur, or if it was Shakur that said, you know what, I've had enough of this, like Bud did and like others have before him. I'm very curious to see or to find out what it was. I think after he leaves Top Rank, if that's what he does, then we'll find out the full story. In my opinion, I don't know.
I think this is a great point, HLD.
Yeah, he says no one is going to give Shakur more than Top Rank's $15 million for 5 fights, and I agree. So that's why I feel like he might re-sign with them, because I don't think anybody else is going to give.
It's potential. I mean,
Top Rank.
We see that Bud re-signed with him, and why do he re-sign with them? Well, because the first part, he treat them very well, right?
Yeah.
And they was expecting to get more and more fights, and the fights that they choose or the fights that they want, right? And in the end, it don't turn out that way. But if they are capable of doing that for Shakur, potentially he stay.
Yeah. I'm curious. Like, I can't say. Like, I agree with both of y'all, and I agree with the chat. It's like, I don't know. Is he really going to leave, or is he going to resign? And it's got to make sense. If he's got good people around him and they're business minded, then they're going to be like, you know what, man, it doesn't make sense to leave. Or, you know what, man, if you do this and we have this guarantee. So I don't know. I'm very curious to see how that's going to go.
Twin, I don't know why you, I don't know how you shadow ban.
Twin. There's a lot of people in the chat.
Yeah. Maybe log out and log back in or something, because I can see your comments in here.
Yeah. No, we would never ban you. That's for sure.
No,
Yeah,
I
that's
think one
interesting.
thing Shakur need to consider,
have
and
to
perhaps
repeat it.
I'm wrong, but I think that Shakur need to consider what is the future of Top Rank at this point. We know that there's, I hate to say it, but Bob Arum won't be around forever, and
Right.
perhaps it go to someone else's hands. And what will the future of Top Rank look like? Will it be better? Perhaps. Could it be worse? Possible.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
the thing
there's a
is
lot to
too,
consider at this one.
the thing is too, maybe it is that I've had so much trouble with that twin. So that's the thing. It's like we hear rumors that, I mean, he is older, obviously, and we know he's not going to be there forever. But the rumor is that, he's got a stepson who helps him, but he wasn't going to leave everything to him. So who would he appoint? Who would take over? Or is he going to cash out and be done with it? Like, what is it? What is it going to be?
Yeah, I think that is something that Mr. Shakur need to consider, though.
Yes, for sure. Absolutely. Kane BC says Shakur spars with Bud regularly. I'm pretty sure he will be fine this weekend. Oh, for sure. We're going to talk about that fight. We're definitely going to talk about that fight.
Oh, say
Whenever,
so.
whenever.
Wait, I think right. Writing Yogi is right. If you're viewing this channel from my page, then you can't super chat because I'm not monetized. So you have to log into Christine's page, so super chat. So that I think that's how it works. I don't know.
Okay, but don't
It is what
worry.
it is.
We split the profit, so she'll get
Yeah,
whatever you
but
put
yeah,
in.
but on my channel, I don't think it's not able to super chat on there. That's probably what
We're gonna get
happened.
there, though. We're gonna get
So
there.
yeah, I gotta go live on that.
Yeah,
Oh, we have
we're
Rachel
gonna get
here. We
there.
have Rachel here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey, I'm over
Hey.
here playing like sexy music.
Hello, gorgeous.
We're not
How are
live yet,
you?
are we? Oh, we're live.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
like
We are live. We are live. How are
Okay.
you?
Good. Just turning off the sexy music. My bad.
You're fine. You're fine. We were just talking about, before we get to like the fights from last weekend and the ones that are coming up. We were talking about Shakur. This is going to be his last fight with Top Rank, and what are your opinions? Do you think he's going to re-sign with them, or do you think he has something else in the horizon?
Well, I think if he's going to, I was talking about this last night with somebody, and I think the consensus was if he was going to stay in 135, that the best competition was going to be at Top Rank. But
Yeah.
if he decided to move up, right, then I think the consensus was Matchroom. We were actually looking at all the rankings of 135 and 140 and who their contracts were with. So is he going to move up? Is he having problems making weight at this time? I don't know.
Yeah.
You hear both sides that he can move up, he might want to move up. So it's one of those things.
Absolutely. So,
so
of
wait, you
course,
want to introduce?
obvious.
Wait,
Yeah,
because
I
then
was going to
somebody's
say the
asking.
same thing. We expect everyone to know who you are
No,
because
Yeah,
HLD's
you're
just
such a
capping. Don't
badass.
listen to HLD. HLD's
So,
just capping.
he's crazy.
so
He's
just
trying to hate.
introduce yourself to
Yeah.
everybody for those that like live under a rock and have never seen boxing.
Oh, no worries. Yeah. Hi, my name is Rachel Donaire. Married to well, my ex-boyfriend's name is Nonito. Ex-boyfriend since 2007. Married him in 2007. Married him in 2008, pretty much, and have two beautiful kids. Was his co-manager for a long time with Cameron Duncan, so I was coached under Cameron Duncan, how to manage, look at contracts, and then became his full-time manager and head trainer. And apparently in Vegas have gotten the reputation of being a torturer when it comes to strength and conditioning. So,
Oh, I love it. I love that. That's fabulous. No, that's good. Thank you. Crystal, do you
All right.
have your bell?
Yeah, we have a so Twin Munoz. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah, works on Christine page. Hit the like on both channels, y'all.
Don't worry, we're going to split that 4 ways. We're good.
Appreciate you.
Yes, appreciate you so very much.
Just right here.
So let's get into last weekend's fights. So there's been some criticism, and I'm going to go around. even, I mean, Shakur, as we were speaking of him, there's been some criticism of Teofimo Lopez's performance against Steve Clegel. I hope I'm saying it right. I'll start with you, Rachel. What were your thoughts on that fight?
I mean, so I'm going to be honest. I actually I was watching the DAZN card. Nonita was there ringside, and I was trying to, for the best of myself, watch Sunny. And then I was like, I can't anymore. I'm done. And then so I switched over to Teofimo and Claggett. And so I only got to see like the last half. I don't know what happened in the first half, but I do know from people that were from Canada. They were saying that he isn't someone that you should look over. And I always believe that Teofimo fights at the level of his competition. But from what I saw was really interesting just because of the fact that Claggett, he's tough. But I think people expected this fight to really be a walkover fight, a tune-up fight, something that he was going to show up. And, for the best of him, his punch selection was on point, but I think he failed the expectation that this would be an easy fight.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm only basing it off of half of the fight.
Right.
But I mean, what I saw as far as punch selection, I think he has it. Now, whether or not that is due to the fact that 140, maybe it just, those guys there might be too big for him.
Mm-hmm, for sure. No, that's great. That's a great observation. Crystal, before we go to Nika and you.
All right. Thanks, Jay Pit City. For the super chat, it says Shakur needs to perform this weekend to command any kind of money he wants from any of the promotional companies. But I think it benefits him to stay at top rank in a 3-fight deal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree too. Yeah, because I
can see that. I like that.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Nika, so what were your thoughts whenever you saw Teofimo? I mean, I think Rachel was right about the level of competition. And then sometimes we don't know who we're gonna get. Like sometimes we get this just like badass boxer, and then other times we get this like, who is he? Like, what is he doing? What's he going through?
So I'm not gonna lie to you, just like I was drinking when I was watching the fights. So when I turned on, I was going back and forth to Bam and the fight and the Teofimo fight. And then I just was not into the Teofimo fight. I don't know, but I'm not really a big fan of Teofimo. But when I was tuning in, I just was not into it. So I was just like, more so on the card, on the Golden Boy card. I feel like Teofimo, he talks so much. And he just underperforms when it's time. Like I guess people always say this online. Like he always fights to the level of competition he has. But,
he does.
And then he just be talking out his ass. It's like calling out Terrence Crawford. It's just like, my guy, you need to keep Terrence name out your mouth for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life, don't bring up his name. Like, what are we doing? Like. I don't know. I'm just not. I'm over Teofimo. I really am over Teofimo. I just am. I didn't watch the whole entire fight because I was going back and forth. I just was not entertained. And he came out. I was already like annoyed with the entrance of his walk.
Was it like it was a Michael Jackson?
He was a Michael Jackson, and I love Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is one of my favorite artists. But he actually like. If y'all don't remember,
he messed it up for you.
Tank did the same thing. Tank had come out to the same Michael Jackson song, but Teofimo was like more so concerned about performing and doing a dance, and like it was to me it was cringe. I'm just gonna be honest, it was very cringe to see him walk out trying to like perform like Michael Jackson. It was just like no. This is not your thing. Like, you are not a dancer. Like, keep it out. I was turned off by that already. So that's why I'm just like, I'm not even gonna pay attention to this card. So yeah, I'm okay with not seeing Teofimo fight again. And if I do see him fight, I want to see somebody just like knock him out. Honestly, if I'm being honest, I want to see him get knocked out because he talks so much shit and he don't perform to the shit that he talks. So I'm over him. I'm fucking over him.
He told Bob, like Bob was very disappointed too in his performance, and he was like,
and then he's the
Bob,
last
I'm the greatest champ you have. Like, deal with it. Like,
yeah, see, he don't give a fuck. He don't give a fuck. So like, why should we? He don't give a fuck.
yeah, that's
So
true. Crystal, I know you were so busy because you had your tournament this weekend. For people who don't know, Crystal, tell everybody what you do on the weekend when you're just not hanging with us on Wednesdays.
Well, last last week it was an entire week, right? We
Yeah,
had
it
the
was. It was in Tyler Week. Yeah.
yeah, it was the Junior Olympic Summer Festival in the Wichita, Kansas. So I was blessed to see boxing every day, all day last week, and truly it is a blessing. I enjoy it.
It is.
So unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch the live of the weekend fights on Saturday, but I do catch some of them after our tournament was over, and Teofimo is one of them I watch, and um, I only watched the last half though, right? Similar to Rachel, but I will say that I have to agree with everyone else. He underperformed, right? I think the thing that sold us originally with Teofimo is his athleticism.
Yeah.
Very, very athletic, very, very talented. But as far as skill set in the ring, perhaps we have some cleaning up to do, right? And certainly he's not able to back it up with his speech. But that's here nor there, right? So I think I also have to agree with some of the folks who say it or mention it in the chat. He shall have gone to the body. His game plan was not, I think it could have been better, right? Going to the body will have helped him. I still don't know that he will have stopped the lad because I think it was a tougher competition than most people understand. I will agree with Rachel on that as well. But going to the body will be better. Overall, he flip at the end, he get the win. Time to move on. Not thrilled. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
what did y'all think about him saying that about that Bob? He was just like, yeah, Bob wasn't too happy, but he gotta realize that I'm his last star on the roster.
Yeah, he's like,
I
deal
was
with
like,
it.
so I don't know. He's just like,
How
it's
how
just
much
annoying.
time does he still have? Like, how many more fights does he have?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I don't even know what's left on his contract with them.
I think
Because
he
that's-
resigned, right?
Did he resign?
I think Teofimo resigned because 2 years ago he was looking to leave them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Looking to get out
I
of
remember
the
Then
that.
he retired. Remember?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Short-lived. Well,
Yeah.
and the thing is like he said before, like, I'm not gonna learn how to cut off the ring. I'm not gonna change anything. And Steve, to me, he was coming forward the way Tio likes them to do, but he still couldn't do what he needed to do to just really impress us. And
You see what Dodge J says? He says, and to answer when Michael was saying Tio didn't even sell out the venue, he was out something like 4,500 to 5K capacity. Yeah, the venue
Very
was
difficult.
small. Yeah,
Very
and it was
difficult for him.
yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm over Teofimo. Like, I don't know. He's just like, yeah. See, Teofimo, he is delusional. To me, he has this like. I feel like as a fighter you should think highly of yourself and
right.
but to me, like when he talks, it's just like he just sounds delusional to me. Like I don't know, it just the dance of him coming out, he thought he was like Michael Jackson. I don't know. It was just like it was such a turn off for me. I didn't even want to watch the fight, but I kept going back because it was like, oh, we got to talk about this fight this week. So let me try to watch
Like,
it.
Wednesday's coming. Wednesday's coming. Right.
No, but I mean, I think he's always like, I remember when he signed with Top Rank, I think it was back in 2016. And, when they took the mics, they were always like that. Him and his dad were always like that. So, I mean, it's not any different.
Always.
It's just the fact that we're like, bro, you've been here for quite a minute and we feel like you should be showing more. And instead, like, it's not like, I think in the beginning, of course, like it was more of an even, like, okay, talk your shit and you showed up. Talk your shit, you showed up. But eventually that started being an uneven scale. And we're just like,
yes,
okay,
absolutely.
like, no.
Absolutely. And I mean, I remember even back in the day, I used to feel sorry for him because it was like, there was a joke, amongst media. It's like, if you want an interview, go with Tio's dad, because he will give everybody an interview. And I was like, get out of the limelight, like let your son shine. And I used to really feel bad for him. And now it's just like, gosh, I don't know.
Him and his dad are the same person now. Him and his dad, to me, in my opinion, him and his dad are the same person now. Like I feel like he was a little bit less like, his dad is just like a whole nother story. But Sham he made a point here. He says Theo is one of the most frustrating stars to watch, especially his response on why he couldn't cut off the ring against Jermaine or
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, I cannot. He just frustrates me.
Tell us how you really feel.
He doesn't want to change. And the thing is too, is like, how could he change if he doesn't allow somebody else to like maybe step in, you know? I get it. You know, you love your dad and this and that. And there's other dads in the industry, but sometimes you have to like, you're still on the team, but we need somebody else that can maybe fix a few things. And if we're going to go forward, but if you're just satisfied where you're at, and I don't know, I think sometimes he's delusional, you know, but I don't know. I don't know what to say about him. I mean, are we nearing the end?
Because HLD is a big fan of Teofimo. So he says he's the only active fighter today with 2 pound-for-pound fighters on his resume. So yes, he thinks extremely highly of himself. Okay, I get that. I'm not saying that he's a bum or anything. I don't know call fighters bums or anything like that. But to me, like now, he doesn't perform well. And I feel like if you gotta be a fighter to perform to your competition, to me that's like that. That's not. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like the guys that you should be beating up.
They should try to step up to your level.
Yeah, like come on.
For sure. Absolutely. So you know what? We don't know what's going to happen with Tio. Of course, I will never wish anyone bad. You know, I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to see what happens with him and who he'd fight next. He's calling out some crazy names, and I'm just like, slow your roll.
You don't even need to dream about Crawford. So don't even say his name. Don't even like have a daydream about him. Nothing. Just keep that man's name out your mouth. Like seriously. And Righty Yogi says Tio dad was positively reserved this weekend. Yeah, he wasn't talking no shit. He wasn't really talking like he usually talk. I don't know if they put a muzzle on him, like he's like, hey, you gotta like calm it down or whatever. But he wasn't his like typical like crazy Theo.
Maybe they tranquilized him. No.
I think Jay Pitt hit it. He say probably he don't want to be slapped again.
Yeah. There you go. So let's move on. I mean, bam, y'all. Crystal, I'm gonna start with you first. I know you were busy, but I know you saw the highlights. I know you saw the hoop-de-hoop.
That is the one I've seen live ringside. That was incredible. It looked like electrifying, you know?
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't have a lot to say about that one. You know, I see the highlights and the reels, whatever, but
yeah.
Spectacular.
So let me ask you this. So, you know, I'm not one to like personally do pound for pound lists because it's all subjective, right? You know, but there was a big argument, you know, we saw earlier on another show that he should be on, he shouldn't be on. For whatever reasons, a lot of people, you know, obviously say whoever you fought against or whatever, the eye test, the this or that, everybody has their like opinions. Is he up there for you? Like, I'm not saying you have to put him in a list. The list could be freaking 20 fucking fighters. It could be 10, it could be 5. But is he up there? Like, is he somebody that you remember and you know this guy is a badass?
I think so. I think we have to put Bam up there. You know, it is 100% opinion based, your pound for pound. And my guy hasn't changed for a while, to be fair. But I definitely think that Bam has made a statement, and I think he deserved to be within that top 10.
Absolutely. That's good. Nika, what are your thoughts? I mean, is Bam the real motherfucking deal or what?
Yes, he is. And you know, I see that fight that I watched with him and Estrada. Those are the fights that I want to see. You know, Bam was knocked down. Like that was like, oh, you know, you cannot write better fights than that. You know, so I feel like he said. I think in the post fight interview, he was just like, you know, I always like, wanted to experience getting like knocked down. He's like, and I understood what he said when he meant when he said that, like. You know, and just to come back and just like beat him, that was such a good fight, man. you know, he impressed me. You know, I want him to get all the accolades and just keep going. You know, I love him. I think he did a great job. And I loved how he said that. Like, I wouldn't have wrote that fight any better. Like, I like when fighters like take a knockdown and then like they come back and they like beat the fighter, the opponent. So you know, that was an exciting fight. That's why I was just like, oh, why did I even watch the Teofimo fight? I should have just stayed on this card the whole entire time. I was so mad that I watched the damn Teofimo card. Like, that was such a good fight. I honestly would want to see it again. To be honest, like, it was such an interesting fight. I would want to see it again.
Seriously. Before we get to Rachel, I just want to go with Boxing Barbecue, and he smiled when he got knocked down. That was so wild.
Yeah, so that was like some killer type shit. Like,
I was like,
killer, like, oh yeah, you knocked me down. Okay, you know what? I just turned the switch on. I love that kind of stuff. Oh my god.
Me too. Like that was, I love that. That was great. Rachel, what are your thoughts on Bam? Is he something special, or is he just the man of the hour?
No, I mean, like, let's be honest. I'm going to be partial, right?
Yeah,
I mean, come on, guys. Like, it's funny. I was talking to a couple people, and they're like, "How old was Bam?" I was like, "I think he was 12." And they're like, "Yeah, but I mean, like, your eldest, who's my 10-year-old, is bigger than Bam right now." It's like,
that's
possibly,
true.
it's highly possible, but you know, it's not like Bam right now is super tall. You know, I don't know his actual gene pool, but you know, he's I don't think he's growing very much from there. So he was really tiny when we met him, the cutest little boy.
Yes.
And you know, just to see, like, I get goosebumps because like when Nonito and I were talking about it, he's like, listen, like, you never know, because Nonito always takes time for kids. Like, his heart is about kids, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, you never know that, you know, if that kid needed help, and I brought them in the ring and I gave them hope for a day, right? I brought, you know, when they're looking up to you. And so seeing Bam, you know, really do his thing on Saturday was so amazing. Of course, I stayed home with the boys. Nonito was ringside. He was pissing me off because he kept texting me. He's like, oh crap, Estrada's down. I was like, what? And then I looked up, I'm like, oh, like, he's telling me everything that's happening
before it happened.
Like, yeah, like, stop texting me, you know? But you know, one of the interesting things that, of course, on Twitter, people are, there's people that are discrediting Bam, whether it's his citizenship, or the competition that he's faced. And you know, I don't think that's fair at any point, because at the end of the day, the people that were champions and or ranked that he had beaten, they were legitimate. They weren't given. It wasn't a lottery. You know, they worked their way up there, and until someone came and decided to dismantle them, which ended up being Bam, they were, you know, the golden goose. They were the king of the hill. And Bam has just brought a new youth to the division. It happens. There's the passing of the torch. And I think that his fighting style is really exciting. And I love the fact that Arizona, the 2 times that I've seen him fight there, in addition to Chocolatito and Estrada, they really show up in Arizona.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. They really do.
But don't y'all love those kind of fights where like somebody said that when he it was
Boxing Barbecue first.
That to me is just like, I feel like that would like wake up a beast in me too. Like, if somebody slapped me and then like blood came out of my mouth, I think that I would just like turn into the Hulk and just beat somebody's ass. And I feel like that's what he did.
Yeah, no, it's bad. Like, I think we always say that like fighters do have a switch, and if you get like, I feel like it's like if you get like that Joker smile, like now you're in trouble. Yeah, now you're in trouble, because it's this kind of like
you wipe your blood off and be like, okay.
So I got like a crazy story. So obviously, you know, Bam and Joshua and his dad and his mom, everybody, they're from I'm from Texas. They're in San Antonio. But I remember watching Bam and Josh Franco when they were little kids at you know, tournaments. And my son, he's 18 now, but he was like a little bitty kid before he even boxed. He's like, oh my God, this guy, you know. And same with us. We're like, he is fucking special. And they're so super sweet. His demeanor has not changed. He hasn't grown much since then either in height. But he was always so calm. His dad was always so humble. We'd go up and say, "Oh my God, your sons are so amazing," and he would just be like, "Thank you." He was always in the background. But a crazy story. So my son was like 8 or 9 years old. And like I said, he's 18 now, 19 now. And he loved Bam. And Bam was so sweet to him all the time. So Bam gave his boxing boots to my son. And then I guess like 10 years ago, I don't know, a few years ago, I don't even know. He was like, "Hey mom, I'm gonna give these shoes away to somebody else," which is great. Like, I love the heart. I love, yeah, give them to pass them on. And I was like, hell no.
No. Yeah.
Because listen, yeah, we're gonna
be worth
see
a lot of money
him.
one day. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? And also it's just like, oh my gosh, he gave those to you.
Mhm.
And that's something so special. So we still have them. We still have those little bitty, boxing boots, red and blue, Nike, I believe. We still have them. So,
So
but
wait, somebody said Bam and Donaire, Don Chile says Bam versus Donaire 2024. What say you, Rachel?
We talked. There was a rumor about that. Actually, I don't know, it was a year or two ago. And I called Robert, and because I don't know, I misinterpreted or something, and I was like, Robert, I heard that you want, No Needle versus Bam. He's like, can you imagine? And he was talking like this whole utopia, right?
yeah,
And I was like, no, but Robert, I'm asking you, do you really want Bam versus No Needle? He was like, oh, hell no. He's like, no, what are you talking about? He was like, no, 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 no. He was like, No Needle's like my brother, Bam's like my son. No. He was like, I'm just saying it would be amazing, but no.
yeah,
Like, even I think Robert today had said, like, about Chocolatito, he's like, we would never fight Chocolatito. Like, there's certain bonds in boxing
sure,
that,
there
you
is.
know, hey, listen, we'll take on Chocolatito. We're not like that with Chocolatito. We're not family. Not that we
Yeah,
don't respect him, but we're not family.
right.
But with Bam, no, like, dude, that's like him like No Needle fighting one of my sons. Like, just knowing that I saw him when he was 12. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
So
No,
that's not a fight that he would ever take. He wouldn't. No.
no, there's too many people on the table that he would be like, hey, like I said, like, okay, we can go Chocolatito, we could go Sonny Edwards, we can go so many different ways. Why would we
Yeah.
fight like a younger generation that really has a connection with us when there's so many other guys? But Christine, my dad's in the chat. He's saying hi. Just
Oh, hi.
you remember my dad?
What's his name?
Calbo, which means bald in Filipino.
Oh,
So-
Calvo. Okay, this
Calvo.
is
Oh,
Calvo right here.
Calvo.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
Daddy
Thank you
Jimmy.
so much.
Hi, Daddy Rachel.
Yes, thank you so much for tuning in. Well, I know it's because of your beautiful daughter, and that's okay. We'll take it anyway. Absolutely, we'll take it anyway. So we've got some fights this weekend. So Shakur was criticizing Tio, and he has a fight coming up. And after his last fight, a lot of people said, you know what? You had on your track shoes, you had on your running shoes. He's taken a lot of criticism. And he's actually fighting Artem, who was a bronze medalist 2016. Rachel, we'll start with you. What is your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this? And a lot of people say, oh, Frank Martin's leftovers and nah, everything. We've heard it all.
I mean, I don't even look at that stuff. I mean, like, I think we look at, whatever opportunity presents itself, and we're not working off the triangle theory. Like, just because how his fight turned out with Frank Martin doesn't mean that that's how it's going to look with Shakur, right? In all aspects. So yes. I'm always going to still give Hartunian the his flowers, the his amateur pedigree. And I think that this is really going to be really interesting with Shakur. I'm really hoping, from the De Los Santos fight where we didn't see very much punches and little engagement. I'm hoping that Artem actually presses as much as he tried to press Frank. And I think that is going to give us more of an exciting fight. So, I mean, here's hoping for, more than 75 punches for the, total landed this fight. I really don't want to do that again.
Yes. So, Nika, what are your thoughts? I mean, are you like so excited to see this matchup?
I'm not the biggest Shakur fan, so not really. But I I am interested to see how he does against this guy, because a lot of people on Twitter are saying that he's Frank Martin's leftovers or whatever.
Yeah.
And that fight was already in play between him and Frank Martin, and it kind of fell through. So I do want to see how he handles this fight on Saturday, and in what fashion, because everybody's still talking about his last fight with De Los Santos. So I feel like he tries to act like it doesn't bother him, but you could tell that it does. Like he reacts to everything on Twitter, like everything. So he hears and sees everything that people are saying and how his performance was in this last fight. So I think that he honestly is going to try to come in here and show something else. Like he's going to try to get this guy out of here in great fashion.
And this is his last fight, right? With
Yeah,
Top Rank. So that's going to be an interesting tell.
So, he
Go
got
out with
to
the
make a big
boom
statement.
or not.
He definitely has to make a big statement.
Absolutely. Crystal, what are your thoughts? I mean, is Shakur gonna succumb to all the pressure, all the Twitter crap that he sometimes indulges in, or is he focused and he's gonna make a statement because it is his exit party maybe?
So Kane Beastie he say Shakur will make a statement. I think it's a matter of Shakur need to make a statement, because he do some fans, if you will, for the last performance of 75 punches, right? So he do need to make a statement, and I think just by the press conference that I see, I think that he already have that in his mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Shakur is not one to push the action. So if Artem is able to push the action like he do with Frank, like Rachel mentioned, we perhaps can see another side of Shakur that remind me perhaps of the Valdez fight. More of some off the front foot, so some more activity, and he looked. I like the kid. I've been watching him for a long time. The IQ is incredible, but it's that sweet science that not everyone loves. Right.
That's true.
So what did you think about his last? What did you think about his last performance? Because I know you're a big fan of Shakur. What did you think about his last performance against De Los Santos?
Well, it's definitely less than par, and I think that even Shakur was disappointed in his own performance. Right. So he will make excuses and say, "Well, I don't like to get hit," or he played the hit and not get hit. Right. That's a theory he lived by, and that's fine. And but to be real, we have to be fair. Every fighter have a night that just don't work out in their favor, And I think if we dwell on that one fight, then we don't get to see the sweet science and appreciate the sweet science that he do tend to bring to the ring. So, and this is the same with Devin Haney. If we dwell on the fact that he get beat up by Ryan, we'll never appreciate again the footwork that this lad have. And so I can look past one fight. Now, this weekend, if he don't make a stellar performance for me, I will start having some second thoughts, perhaps.
Right. That's true. Trill says Artem is a better fighter than people give him credit. I said the same thing before the tough Frank fight. The thing. So I've looked at that fight. Like I've watched it over and over again. Not over. Okay, twice. But the thing about the differences, which there are many, but I mean the main differences for me that stuck out, between Frank and between Shakur is Shakur knows how to cut the ring. Frank does not. Frank chases, his prey. So and although Frank can box, he doesn't know how to work angles. Shakur does. Shakur comes from a very extensive. Oh my God, who is that?
He says relax. Girl, stop making excuses for Shakira.
Nobody is making excuses. Nobody's making excuses. I'm just saying, I believe that Shakur is going to, although I will not take anything away from Artem because he is a bronze medalist, and I know, and all of y'all know what the fuck you have to go through just to even make it on the fucking team and to make it to the Olympics and to get a bronze medal. So I take nothing from him. He is very talented, but I believe that Shakur.
A lot of people say this. What Daniel said. A lot of people did think that Artem beat Frank Martin. So this is gonna be that's why I want to see how Shakur handles this fight, because he was supposed to fight Frank Martin. So I want to see what he looks like against Artem. So You know,
No,
and not for nothing, Artem was very sharp today at the press conference. He was,
oh yeah,
he was spiffy from head to toe.
he
Like,
was. Mob boss vibes. I think Trill said that. And I was
yeah,
like,
he said a mob boss,
yeah, absolutely. You know, and something that hubby said, he said this fight is tailor made for Shakur to look like $1 million. Absolutely.
You think so?
Yes, I fucking do. I mean, look at who he's fought. Look at his resume. Look at everything. But look, the matchmakers at Top Rank, they're very smart. They are very fucking smart.
Yeah, good.
And I'm not taking anything away from Shakur. I'm just saying, I totally agree with that. Rachel, what do you think? Is this tailor made for Shakur?
Yeah, I think like, you know, when it comes to like you were saying the matchmaking, there's certain reasons why they made the moves that they did, you know. And we talk about other fighters the exact same way. Like people are like, "Hey, he's not fighting anyone. He's only had 10 fights. Calm down." You know, like or he should be, you know, fighting higher competitions, like calm down. Because there has to be conversations between the promoter, the manager, the fighter, and the trainer, you know, to not push their fighter, you know, way too early in competition. Just
Right.
because, you know, whatever. There has, especially, you know what, guess what? I'm sorry, but Top Rank is the best in producing and bringing
Absolutely.
prospects, right? Up to a level of where, you know, when they get in a world championship fight, you definitely know who they are because they've been building them. They're putting on like
Absolutely.
every two months or so. So I mean, as far as this matchup, I don't see a better matchup for him at this point.
Agree 100%. I do.
I agree with this comment right here from Sham. He says, I think we get too caught up in one fight, but this is the business of what have you done for me lately. He has to step up or that tank fight he wants will never happen. I think it still will happen, but he does. I feel like he's gonna get dragged through the mud if he don't look good or make it like a more like entertaining fight from his last fight. But you know that Tank supposedly said he's one of the fights that he's gonna get. So I don't know if it, unless he loses, then I feel like that's the only way it would change that outcome of that fight.
And I see Shakur like edging things out. Like I see this honestly that he's just at a different peak in his career. Like he's going to do great things. I do. You know, like Crystal was talking about the sweet science, you know, he has everything that he needs. Maybe he's boring to some people because they're not looking, they want knockouts and they want this and that. But I think that he's at the right point in his career where he's gonna do something soon. I don't know. I just feel it. We'll see.
Can I respond to that one? That
this one right here.
Yeah.
Julius, he says, Rachel, I've been telling people that Nonito would have stopped Bam in 3 rounds in his prime.
In Nonito's prime, Bam was 12.
Right.
Come
so
on.
definitely. We agree.
But I guess he's saying like the Bam that we see now and Nonito in his prime.
Well,
he would have stopped him now.
That's a whole different conversation.
So we're talking about Bam, like Bam's at, you know, 112, 115. Nonito's prime was 118, 122.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, like it's one of those things like, okay, fantasy fight, or let's play it on, you know, fight night round 4.
Right.
At this point, like, yeah. So I appreciate listen, I completely appreciate the compliments. I just feel like, you know, fighters being compared sometimes are unfair to the fighters that are, you know, doing things in their own era and their own way. So I always want to give the flowers.
What do you think Nonito would say though?
I don't know. Should we ask him?
Yeah, let's ask him.
Say what? What do you think you would have did to Bam in his prime? In your prime?
Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay. Mike is like, I want to know.
Because I feel like him as a fighter, he would say different from what Rachel just said. Like he'd be like, yeah, in my prime, I probably would have stopped him in 3 rounds. He would agree with you. He definitely would agree.
Yeah, and as he should. Yes, we're gonna talk about Keyshawn. We're gonna talk about Abdullah.
Oh, but you say this is a good statement too by Trill. He says, I don't even think Bam is in his prime yet. So that's a good assessment too.
I don't think so. He's what, 23?
But the Bam that we see now, That's the question. The Bam that we see now, does Nonito himself think in his prime would he have beat him in like 3 rounds or whatever? Talking prime
What
and
about
prime.
them scorecards? Glad Bam stopped him. Yes, boxing barbecue. What about them scorecards? Yes, I'm glad he stopped him too. That was
Yeah, you know, these are also good fights that are going to be on the card.
and we're gonna talk about them.
For the
We just haven't got there yet. We're like right here still. Just patience is a virtue. Just saying.
So yeah, he said, Joe, what about them scorecards? Blah blah. All right, okay, Joe, we got
Let me get the dinger.
Get the
Ah, the
dinger.
dinger.
Hey, Kyle, thank you so much. Conk Crazy, you know, he has a food truck here in Miami that, you know, I wish that I could eat shellfish, but I can't. So I
what?
can't.
Okay, when I'm going
what's
to
the lady stop
Miami,
by to show
Nika, we're
some
going. We are going.
Yeah,
Good,
but
is
I
yours on?
can't eat conch because I'm allergic to shellfish.
Hey, Champ, how are you?
I mean,
Hello. What's up?
Hey, Nonito.
See if they can
Hi.
hear you.
Somebody
You guys hear
made a
me?
statement here.
Yes, Nika had a question for you.
Yeah, so
Okay.
someone made a statement in here, and I would like to know, because Rachel already answered it, but I would like to know you yourself, because you are the fighter. What do you think? How do you think in your prime you would do against Bam right now? Because I'm trying to find the comment. He said somebody said that in your prime they think that you would beat Bam in 3 rounds.
I mean, I got biggest respect for Bam and Robert and all of them, you know. So it's really hard for me to go and have a kind of like the fantasy kind of
And talk shit.
look into it. No. I got lots of love for them, you know. For me, I never really knew how I fare with everybody unless I got in there. You know what I mean? Because you can look at a lot of things. You can look at a lot of things and say, "Oh, this is this and this and that." Next thing you know, it's just totally different. You know. But if you're gonna ask a fighter like myself, I mean, I'm the kind of guy that fought everybody and will fight everybody. And because I'm always confident, even though when people say, "Oh, you know, this guy's too good," blah blah blah, this and that, I'm gonna say I'm gonna beat him.
Yeah,
There ain't
see,
no
I feel like you would
person
expect this.
Of
in
course.
any of this thing. You can put anybody in front of me, and I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna beat him. I'm gonna beat everybody.
Absolutely.
You know, it's just the mentality that I have.
See, this
Absolutely.
was Julius. He says, Rachel, I've been telling people that Nonito would have stopped Bam in 3 rounds in his prime.
And we have other comments. Nonito was a great boxer puncher. Nonito was and is more technical. So, I mean, people will talk for you because they know you. But yeah, it's Nonito was the best American
is
fighter.
more technical. Yeah, here you go.
Second.
For me, you know,
would have
I'm the
destroyed
kind of
Bam in his prime. Yeah, see, you got a lot of. You got a lot
I
of.
mean, I
But
appreciate that. I
your
really do
wife is gonna
appreciate
keep
that.
you
You know what I
humble.
mean? Like
Your wife
with
is gonna keep
me,
you humble.
you know, I'm just one of those guys that I don't talk too much outside of the ring. I do a lot of talking inside of my hand, my hands, the
Yeah.
gloves. That's it. You know, that's it. You know, with me, I've always just been. I mean, people, we can have a good conversation when it comes down to a lot of that stuff, but I'm usually the action kind of person. That's why I can't be like a lot of this stuff when people are like talking and stuff like that. I wish you were in front of me so that I can do something. You know what I mean? I'm not. I just get mad about it. You know. So
Don't get mad.
no, I'm
We're
just
just
saying.
talking.
I'm just saying. You know, I'm the kind of in your face kind of guy.
Yeah. No, yeah.
But
And this is
HLD
safe
says
space.
send the contract, Bam. Stop ducking the flash.
Oh my, they're ready. They're ready. Oh my gosh, they're ready.
Oh man.
Don't pay attention to HLD. All he does is fire start.
Of
Hey,
course,
that's cool. I
yes.
mean, listen, like we even had a talk with Robert. You know, back way back. You know, and I said I'll never cross that because you guys are like family to me, you know, unless it's like good money and we have this conversation that you know what, let's make it happen, you know,
Yeah.
and everybody wins. I'm okay with that. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go and call out somebody who I consider family. You know what I mean?
No, totally get it. Totally get
So
it.
Boxing and Barbecue says, "Are you still fighting Leo Santa Cruz?"
I mean, me and Leo, last time I saw Leo, he was like, "Let's go take a shot." I'm like, "Okay, let's go take a shot."
Oh my God, I forgot about that. Oh my God, I forgot about that
No,
video.
we
That's
saw
right.
him again.
Yeah,
We saw him
we
at
saw him again.
the
We saw him
tag
again.
that night
Yeah,
again. We saw him.
and he was like, "Shot."
Same
I'm
thing.
like, "All right, shoot, let's do it."
Let's
You
go.
know?
So I'm getting the gym.
Yeah, but I mean, like with me, I would love that fight. I bet that's the only reason why I went up to featherweight because I was
Yeah,
catching those
exactly.
guys, Santa Cruz and Mari.
No, that's a good matchup. We were like going down the list, and you're here. We're gonna go around with you too. So we've got Shock Foster versus Robson Consecao.
Concesao, I think that's what you say.
Concesao.
Conceição.
So Rachel, we're gonna go with you first and your husband, and we'll go around. So what are y'all's thoughts on that fight?
You know,
That's a good matchup.
it is, and I've been watching him spar, and he, the one with Navarrete, me and Tony, we were watching it, and I'm like, this is so ugly, but it's beautiful. Like we couldn't get like our eyes off the screen. So we've been seeing him spar over here at Top Rank, and it's still kind of the same beautiful mess that he does. Because the thing is that everyone that goes in the ring with him says the same thing. They see the punch coming, they think
Yeah.
they're out of the way, and he hits them.
Yeah.
So it's one
He's
of those.
long, wild.
Yeah, and when it comes to a very technical boxer like Oshak, like you're
Yeah.
thinking that maybe he's going to be too like in the box of what a boxer is supposed to do, which is
Right.
where Manny exceeded and excelled, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be a really interesting fight. In consideration, also, there's rumors about him Oshaki having problems with weight.
Yeah.
I don't know how true that is. But as far as on this side of the world in Las Vegas, Conceição seems like he's been on point. He doesn't seem to get tired, and he's just beautifully awkward. I don't know what to say about
He's
that.
so awkward. Yes, he is. And and I don't want to take anything away from him because we talked about he's a gold medalist. Like we know the road, like what you have to do. Like I think this is going to be a really really good matchup. I'm away from my comments after, but I'm just like this is good. Champ, what do you think? I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean, I know you're in Vegas. You see him sparring. Like, what are you
I think
biased?
he's a tough guy. He's a really tough
Yeah,
guy. He has a lot of heart. I saw somebody here that they think that the third time is a charm, get the split decision. I'd like to he deserved a lot of the thing because he fight hard, but I think his style is made for people who box. So if you box him well, you feint well, you box well, you go around him, you can
yeah,
go around that. And I think
yeah,
he gets beaten by guys who are faster than him, guys who tricks him and uses that jab and move around a lot. I think if Shaki does that type of work with him, I think that he will win this fight.
Yeah, and it literally has to be like an angle out. It can't be like because what I've seen is every single time that someone steps back, that's where they're getting caught with that really long kind of Dalsum
yeah,
style Street Fighter. If you guys remember Street Fighter,
yes.
where Dalsum had a really long arms, that's what I think of him as. And I'm gonna echo what Nonito said. Like I feel bad for him. Like the fights that he's
Yeah,
been
he's a
in.
cool dude, but his skills might be really good in the amateurs, but in the professional level, you
Yes.
gotta I mean the little feint can really get him to bite for it, and then he gets really stiff and he gets he gets caught up with that, and
Yeah.
that's why guys who box him really well, he has a problem.
Yeah. No, I can definitely see that. You have to be able to conform wherever you're at and whatever you're doing. Use both. Use both, but don't use one more than the other, for sure. Nika, how do you see this fight going?
These are the kind of fights that I don't know how it's gonna go because of this awkward style. Like that's why I don't bet on boxing. I bet on baseball.
Yeah.
I bet on basketball. I do not bet on boxing because I feel like Conceição looked really good against what's the one? Oh, I'm having a brain fart. The guy that he fought, the Pop Dirty for the T.
Yes.
Oscar. What was it?
Yeah, you're right. Valdez.
Yeah, Oscar. Yeah. I thought he looked good. I actually thought he won that fight. So, he didn't get the nod though, but I thought he won that fight. So I'm curious to see if he cleaned up some of the style that he has against. So for this fight against Foster, I honestly don't know how it's gonna go. I think Shakur Foster's gonna win, but these awkward styles, they're so unpredictable. You can't really plan for them. So, this is gonna be like a tricky fight for Foster, but I think he's prepared for it. So, but after Crystal says her thing, I have a question for Nonita because somebody sent me a question to ask, and I gotta ask.
Okay. Crystal, what do you think about this matchup? Is it a good matchup, and who do you have?
So I like Conceição, right? I do like him. I think he's a cool dude. Okay. But I don't think he is. I think there are levels here. And I think Shakur Foster, even though he is not on a elite basis, right? I think Mr. Foster won't have too many problems with him as long as he stick to the boxing and don't try to make it a street fight. And I don't see him having too much problems with him.
Nika, before you ask the question, I'm just going to say really quickly, I agree with you, Crystal, as well, too. I think Conceição has great skill, those awkward shots. He's long. He does have, somewhat power. I know what he had to go through to, get the Olympics and to get a gold. That's fucking insane. And although Shakur Foster may not be as polished, depending on what you're looking at, one thing that you can't teach is heart. Like Shakur Foster has beat people in the beginning that we did not think they could beat. He's got two great coaches that are very underrated, do not get, a lot of the limelight, Bobby Benton and Aaron Navarro. And I just really believe that it's Shakur's time right now. So I'm definitely going to pick him, although it will not be a walk in the park, but he is going to be my pick.
So someone sent me a message and they wanted me to ask you if there's any truth to this rumor that there's going to be a fight with you and Chocolatito in Saudi.
That'd be a great fight. That'd be a great fight. I would love that fight. You know what I mean? I think that's something that he and I wanted for a very long time, and I think that'd be an amazing thing to happen.
So you think you would melt that chocolate?
Man, I'll everything that chocolate, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm the only one making weird faces at this point. I think I love the storyline, but I do believe that the reason why Chocolatito came over to spar Bam is that he was preparing for his own fight in Nicaragua. So I don't think that any conversations that are to be had are until he completes that fight and sees how he does against, I think it's a Colombian that he's fighting.
Colombian,
yeah. So
I'm getting paused because I said, "Are you gonna melt that chocolate?"
I know that's what I literally was the only one making faces, and you guys kept going, and I'm like,
my red cup might have just did a little much.
I gotta be
Sorry.
Give me the champagne, baby. Give me the champagne.
That's okay.
The same level.
I'm so sorry.
So
I come out all chocolated up.
now you guys are going way. I didn't know this.
Hey.
What happened to you?
Oh my God.
See, you guys haven't drank with us yet. Christine has, but
that's not going to be the last time.
This is Nonito after hours.
All the time.
Yeah, this is Nonito after hours. After hours.
I do love chocolate, so that's why I say you're gonna take a bite of the chocolate. And I meant melt the chocolate, beat them up. That's what I meant, y'all. So don't get all in your feelings in the chat. That's what I meant. It might have not come out right for y'all, but blame the red cup, all right?
Exactly. So we have the last subject. So we have two brothers, the Davis brothers that are going to be fighting this weekend, which I think is great. Keyshawn and Kelvin. So Keyshawn, you know, a lot of people have been up and down with him. Kelvin, they're not sure. I'll just start with Kelvin. Kelvin has a very tough test, in my opinion. Um, and with Kevin Johnson, I didn't know about him, but I looked him up, and although he may not be the prettiest fighter, I don't know if y'all are familiar with him. He's very long and he's got the wild shots. And he can definitely take a punch. So that's one that I'm going to look out for, because is Kelvin going to elevate, or is he just going to be, you know, in the background? Are y'all familiar with his opponent at all?
I honestly am not.
Okay, that's okay, because I wasn't either until I did my research. But I heard people saying he's a very tough opponent, so I started doing my research, and I think it's a good test for him. You know, the thing that I admire about, I mean, many things about Keyshawn is he does want to bring his brothers up with him, which I think is admirable. Keon is still amateur, his little brother, and he's very talented as well. But so I'm just wondering if this is going to be the make it or break it for him. But I definitely am rooting for him. But then we have Keyshawn, you know. How is Keyshawn gonna do against Madueno? I should know, he's Mexican. I should know how to pronounce his last name. But are y'all familiar with him?
I'm not familiar with him. I'm gonna be honest. But I see from people. I'm gonna do a little bit of research before the fight actually happens. But I do see people online saying that they feel like this is gonna be the showstopper of the card. So I need to do some research before the actual fight on Saturday.
Yes.
Then also, I think your dad he's asking a question.
Okay.
Reggie says, who is promoting Nonito since Richard is with TMT? This is your dad.
Ah,
I know. My dad likes to push envelopes. Nonito.
Love it.
Nonito can fight anywhere with anyone. As long as you go through me, then we good.
I heard that. Let's say go through her. All right, you heard that.
Right.
So call your daughter.
My dad literally lives down the block. Like,
I love it. I love your
10
dad.
houses down. He could just walk. He could have walked here by now.
I gotta meet him. I love it. I love it. I love it. So what are y'all's thoughts? And I'll start with you, Rachel, and then we'll go around. So what are your thoughts on Keyshawn? Is he gonna make it? Is he the real deal, or is he? What do you think about him?
I think that he's been showing progress and he's been showing up every single fight that he's had. Again, like we keep talking about people who you know, they're building their careers. You know, I never put a cap or a ceiling or an expectation on what they have to show us, especially like coming from, you know, it's not like he has 30, 40 wins underneath his belt and he didn't fight anyone. Right? We're looking at people that are building their careers up and looking for those better rankings, getting those world title shots. And I think that these steps, we also have to consider, you know, these rounds that they're putting in the professional level, 4, 6, 8, 10s, 12s. Those are discussions that are really deep rooted within a camp that's protecting you and has your best interest, to make sure that you are not being put in as an opponent, and B, put in fights that are going to actually improve your skill. So, you know, the people that they put him with, I think that he's been showing up. I think that his skills will get better with time, as he puts in more rounds. I want him to put in more rounds. I want to see him like in a little bit more competition that's going to make him think and adjust, and see how he does with that kind of adversity. Because I think that when you start going into, you know, the 12 rounds, you're dealing with a lot of adversity, and I think now is the time to test that adversity.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Nonito, what do you think? I mean, are you impressed with Keyshawn?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen him train and all that stuff. You know, he's a really smart fighter, very talented. Just like she said, you know, he's only getting better. You know, the way he took Pedraza. Pedraza's a tough dude. You know, he's no push, no walkover, but he made it look easy. So, you know, you can tell he's getting better, he's getting stronger, he's getting comfortable in there. And I think that the more that he gets comfortable, the more that his true talent will come out, and you'll see not just power, not just speed, but the whole thing, you know. And I'm seeing it because of that Pedraza fight.
Absolutely. Micah.
I like Keyshawn. I like how he carries himself. I like the shit that he talks, you know, because he's a entertaining fighter for myself. So I think he's gonna be a star. I do want to see more from him, but somebody said in here that he's talking greasy to Tank. Right here, he was talking greasy to Tank. Like that's what the fighters are supposed to do. They're supposed to talk shit and
Let's build it
start
up.
building fights and stuff like that, you know. So I'm not mad at it. I'm excited to see what he's gonna do this weekend. I want to see a knockout. Like I want him to like knock people out. I want him to keep talking shit and like build other fights. Talk your shit, you know. That's what the fight game is. Like I'm not like turned off by fighters talking shit. I only when they don't.
I love it.
Show up for the fights, like Teofimo, like the shit that he talks, like now it's not impressive to me because he's talking shit and then he's come out there and like doing what he did Saturday. It's like last Saturday. I don't like that kind of shit talking. Like the way him and his dad talk shit, and then he only shows up to the quality of fighter that he fights. That's not what I like. I like you to talk shit, go in there and show up and look good at with any fighter that you get in there with. So, you know, I think Keyshawn is I think he's gonna be a star. So
yeah. Crystal, what do you like?
Yeah, I do. I love shit talkers, but I love shit talkers who talk shit and
they can back it up,
prove it, and back it up. You know. So
absolutely,
Keyshawn do talk shit. He do back it up, but there was a fight that Keyshawn don't do extremely well in, if I recall correctly. And the lad was jumping all over him. I think it was like his 6th fight or something, right?
Yeah.
But now after Pedraza, he showed to them he truly have it. He have a skill set that is, I would say, special. Very similar to Shakur. They're from the same city, right? So not surprising there. But I like Keyshawn. I like the DB3. You know, however they do that, I'm not sure. But I love the 3 brothers, Keon, Kelvin, and Keyshawn, and I expect it's potential to me that he can steal the show completely on the Saturday.
Yeah, right? I did see a lot of people saying that he would steal the show on Saturday. That's why I'm gonna do some research on his opponent to see if he's actually gonna steal the show.
I think it is potential. I think it's a high potential. People are interested because he is also an entertainer. He also talk the shit, but he also be entertaining when he fight. So he don't mind taking a hit or two and have an exchange, unlike Shakur, right? Yeah. So I think this is very possible. And as far as Kelvin, yes, I think this will be a tough test for him. Is it at 154? Do you know, or is it catchweight?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm
not sure, but I think that either way, I think this will be a coming out performance for him as well. And I expect him. I think that I do believe he will get the win on this one. But I think it will be a tougher fight than potentially anyone else on the card, to be fair.
Yeah. And then we can't leave out Abdullah Mason. You know, he's very talented. He's coming up. He's very young. I see a very promising career. But as far as Kelvin, I do think this is coming out as well. And Keyshawn, I mean, they're with some amazing trainers. And I think that we're only seeing, you know, the beginning of a very prosperous and successful career. You know, in my opinion.
So I don't think Kelvin is on the main card, right?
No.
But they do move Abdullah to the main card.
Yes, they did. Yes.
Yeah.
He deserved that. He deserved every second of that.
He does. Yeah. I'm very impressed.
So this is a great comment by Sham. He says, "My guy Abdullah Mason is a quiet, humble monster. Respectfully, he is like
and that's okay too. We like those too.
Yeah.
So. For sure. Yeah, and shout out to Lester Martinez. But you know, so Nonito, we love your wife. We might have to steal her for a few more shows in the very near future because
anytime.
She knows her shit like we do. So, and I just appreciate y'all so much for coming on. But before we end this, I want to go around and everybody, if there was something you wanted to say, something you want to, you know, put out there. Crystal, I'm gonna start with you, and we're gonna go around, and then last words, last comments, something else that you wanted to touch on.
So I just want to say thank you to Rachel and Nonito. It's very nice to see you again. Thank you to the chat. Always lovely to have everyone in there, and keep boxing.
Absolutely. Keep boxing. Nika, what you got, girl?
I want to thank everybody in the chat. They had great comments tonight. I want to thank Rachel and Nonito. And then when I do meet you guys, I'm gonna make sure I have like a Hershey Kiss bars. So we can share chocolate. I feel so crazy for saying that comment now because everybody was killing me for it. But I do want to see a chocolatito fight with Nonito. So that So yeah. Everybody stay safe. Mind your business. Drink your water. Stop.
Mind your business. Drink your water.
Yeah, that's all good.
Absolutely. Nonito, any last words? Anything you want to say?
This has been really fun. You guys are amazing, and I appreciate you guys, you ladies, for doing this. This is something that is very empowering, and you guys are giving it out there. You guys are just in that space, and it's that time, and you guys are making it happen, and I'm grateful for that. And to everybody out there, in the chat, thank you for the support. Keep supporting these ladies, man. This is power right here, and I really appreciate you guys, you ladies.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Rachel.
I mean, Christine, meeting you was such an amazing experience. I hope to meet Crystal and Nika in person, maybe not with the chocolate, maybe more with tequila shots.
I'm gonna get that chocolate.
But
I like chocolate.
Over a nice cold beverage.
I love Hershey Kisses bar with some almonds. Oh my god, yes.
but spaces like these is exactly what we need to continue having. Listen, it's not all about what the Twitter and YouTube drama is about. It's about boxing. And we want to promote these fighters in the best way possible, whether or not that we're going to disagree on who we're supporting or what the outcomes and what the predictions are going to be. At the end of the day, I think what I would like to say is I believe that what we want is for boxing to continue to be a mainstay sport in the Olympics and in the professional realm. And if we keep talking about it, they won't be able to cancel our sport. So, thank you guys in the chats for all the ones that supported on, the super chats and they're here. Please share, like, and subscribe. And, follow these women on Twitter. We all have our own voices. And you're going to hear us. Trust me. And
you're gonna hear me.
That's what the way it's supposed to be. I'm sorry. I don't think any one of us are quiet. That's why we're here.
Right.
So,
I'll be in the background.
That's right. You're the muscle.
I like that. I like that. She could talk her shit, and if anything goes left, Nonito's right there.
That's right. That's me. That's my job.
Yeah.
No, I love it. I love it. I love it. So this is great. I mean, the whole idea of Women Crushing It Wednesday is for us to be at a bar, at a restaurant. We're talking about boxing. We don't always have to agree, but we respect each other. We love each other because it takes very strong women to speak up, on this platform in boxing, and so we're going to keep doing what we do. And I appreciate you all so much in the chat. Love you. We have the best chat in the world. And thank you so much, Rachel, Nonito, and to my beautiful girls.
One more bell for
one more.
Papa Rachel Calvo says salute. Okay, we gotta get the bell. Yeah, salute you, ladies. More power to you. Thank you.
And Rachel, I'm gonna be texting you more. We need you on the show. And the Olympics are gonna be over in August. I'm gonna be in Vegas, so y'all are gonna get sick of me.
Nah, never.
You're gonna be sick of tequila that I keep giving you.
Hey, let's go. Love to love y'all. Everybody have a great night.
Have a good night. Right, it's a spinning.